Hello there, my name is Larry Rosen from the Ajax Public Library. Welcome to Tween Scratch Coding. Glad you're here. We are going to do some coding today. We're going to do it right from scratch. And let's get started. I am just going to share my screen and we should be good to go. There we go. All right. Now, just a couple of notes for those who might not know about Scratch. It's a free programming language where you can create your own interactive stories and games and animations. You will be creating videos with cartoon characters that do what you tell them to do. It's kind of cool. And do you really have to know programming to use Scratch? Not really. You see, if you want your character to move 5 spaces, you just tell the character to move 5 spaces. And how do you do that? You don't have to know programming. You just have to know how to move blocks. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. All right, so I am now going to share the Scratch screen, and you can either follow along with me or you can just kind of watch me get some ideas, and I'll show you how you can do it yourself after the meeting. All right. Just going to share my screen once again. And here's the Scratch screen. This is a typical Scratch screen with nothing on it because we're going to start from scratch. And we are going to imagine a world. We're going to imagine some characters and we're going to have these characters do things. We'll start off with the cat. It's right there. Where do you get the cat? Right down here. This is where you get to choose all the different characters, and they call these characters sprites. So this is a sprite. And it's the only character that we have on the screen right now. And we're going to get the cat to do something. We are going to get the cat to talk. And to do that, we just move blocks. And you see all these blocks on the left, all of these blocks here. We're going to move them, the ones that we need, we're going to move them right into the middle. And when we do that, it tells the cat what to do. So let's see, we've got different colors. And if you look, the blue, all these blue blocks, they are motion, telling the cat to move. And then you've got some purple. If you click the purple, these are blocks that help change the look of your sprite or the background or some other kind of look. Sometimes you want your characters to say something. Well, you would do that with these purple blocks. We would move some of them over. And the orange ones, these are called events. So an event is maybe when you click on something, that's an event. When you click on that mouse or when you click on that cat, what happens? Something happens. Or when you press the space bar, that's an event. So we might need those, we'll see. And then we have control. What the control does is if it controls you. For instance, if you want the cat to wait, you're controlling it. So you're waiting 1 second, we will use one of those control blocks. What else do we have? We've got sensing. Sensing, oh yes, if the cat is touching another character, what happens? You're sensing the motion. So we might use those. We shall see. The others we might use, they're not used as often, but let's get started. We want this cat. We want this cat to say something. We want this cat to say, hello. So if we want this cat to say hello, which color do you think we would need to use? Would it be motion? No, it's not motion because we're not telling the cat to turn or move somewhere. Let's see, could it be sound? What do you think? You see something that says say? Say. There we go. It's under looks. You click on looks here. The first one right there is say. So I'm going to drag that right over here because we want that cat to say hello. Say hello for 2 seconds. Okay. And we want the cat to say something else. So I'm going to drag another block right underneath until it clicks. Isn't that great? You drag blocks. You don't have to type in all this programming. And the blocks tell you what it does. So I don't want the cat to say hello twice. So I'm going to change that by double clicking on the hello, and the second one I'm going to say imagine if. Oh, I spelled that wrong, I think. I spelled both of them wrong. Imagine if. If is only one F, right? All right. Imagine if. Now, if I click on the cat, nothing happens. If I click on this green flag, nothing happens. That usually starts the program, but nothing's happening. It's because we have to tell the program what to do. The program doesn't know anything. So we want to tell Scratch that when we click on that flag, then the cat's going to start to speak. And how do we do that? We look for it. Remember that was an event. It's an event when you click on the flag, when you click on the space bar, that's an event. So let's look under events. I'm going to click events here. Now all the orange ones pop up. And there it is, when the green flag is clicked. So I'm just going to drag that and I'm going to put it right on top. And now that it's on top, I wonder what happens when I click the green screen, or green screen, the green flag. Here we go. Did you see that? I'll just move me right down here. Let's do that once again. I'm going to click the green flag. Here we go. Hello. Imagine if. All right. You're on your way to the first, that was your first part of coding. Now, what else can we do? That white background looks kind of boring, doesn't it? We want to change the background. Okay, so to do that, we scroll down here until we see 2 buttons here. This button here is if you want to add another sprite, but this one right here is if you want to add a new backdrop. And I'd like to add a new backdrop, so I'm going to click on that and choose. Oh, look at all these great backdrops. Oh, I like the beach. All right, let's see. What could we choose? So many choices. I'm going to choose this one. I like this. Water. Looks like a stream, nice stream. Now the cat kind of looks more at home. And now we can do more things. And you can choose any backdrop you want. You can change it anytime. Let's add another sprite because the cat is lonely. So here we go. I'm going to click the sprite button down here. And I'm going to choose another sprite. And I think this time I would like to choose a butterfly. And there's two choices. And I'm going to choose the first one. And look at that. The butterfly is right on top of the mouse, of the cat. I'm going to just move that, drag the butterfly right over there. So now we can see both. Now, what do we want to do with the butterfly? We would like, let's think, what could the butterfly do? Well, butterflies fly. So why don't we make it so that when we click on the space bar, the butterfly goes to a different location, kind of like a random location. Okay, so when the butterfly when we click on the space bar. So right now you see we've got the cat here and we've got the butterfly. The butterfly is highlighted. That means anything that we put in here is just for the butterfly. And you notice we don't see any cat, the things that we did for that. We don't see that because the cat is not highlighted. If I click the cat, there's our blocks for the cat. And if I click the butterfly, there's nothing there because we have not programmed the cat. We have not coded the cat, the butterfly yet. So we're going to do that right now. When the space bar is clicked, that's an event. So there it is right there when the space key is pressed. So I'm going to drag that out. Okay, we are cooking. The next thing is we want to, this is, the butterfly is flying, so it's moving. So it's moving, it's motion. So there's a special color for motion. Do you see which one it is? That's right, it is the motion. The top one here, the blue. So I click on the blue and now we got all these choices. Which one? Well, I like the butterfly to, excuse me, I would like the butterfly to glide. So we've got a couple of gliding ones here. And I'm going to drag this one that says glide 1 second to a random position. And I'm just going to drag that one until it clicks. And I am going to test it now. So if I click on the butterfly, nothing's going to happen because this says when the space bar is clicked, not when you click the butterfly. So when the space bar is pressed, so I'm going to press it right now and let's watch what happens. It glided for 1 second to a different location. Let's try it again. And again, just picks a random place to fly. All right. It's kind of easy, right? You're just telling these characters what to do. And you're just moving blocks to do it. What could be easier? Let's continue. Oh, you know what? I think just before we make that butterfly fly, I would like it to make a sound. So to do that, we go to our sound. And I'm going to drag this. See, this one says start sound pop. I am going to drag this one right. Notice it opens up and I can put it right in there. So now what's going to happen when I press the space bar? Let's see. It pops before it flies. You try it again. Not sure if you could hear that, but it is popping. Ooh, almost off the screen there. Okay, I just want to throw that in. It's time to add another sprite because we want to imagine different sprites doing different things. Let's go get another sprite. And you know where that is, right? it is there, right there. So I'm going to press, and let's see, who should I choose? You know what? I think I'm going to choose Ben because he looks happy and ready to go. So I click him and I drag him right over here. So that's Ben. Now, what do we want to make Ben do? How about when you press the right arrow key or the left arrow key, Ben will go right or left. What do you think? Is it possible? It's possible. We're going to do it right now. So when the right arrow key is pressed, that's almost like when the green flag is clicked or when the space bar is clicked, but we want when the right arrow is clicked. So that would be an event. I'm going to click on the events right over here. Do I see something that says when the right arrow is clicked? I don't see it. I see when the space is clicked, when the sprite is clicked. We don't want that. We want the right arrow. So, what to do? Well, this one looks the closest. So I'm going to drag it out here. And you know we're still working with Ben because Ben is highlighted here. So we don't want the space. It says when space key is pressed, we don't want the space key to be pressed. We want the right arrow. So what happens if I click on this down arrow right here? It gives us choices. So what did I say we wanted? It was right arrow. Right arrow. Here we go. So when the right arrow is pressed, what happens? Well, we want Ben to move 10 steps to the right. So how do we do that? Well, Ben is moving. So moving is motion. So motion, where's the motion? You remember motion? It's in the blue. Yes, but we're not going to move him 10 steps. We are going to, because we want him to go to the right. Okay, so we can't just have him move. We have to have him move. And just so you know about how Scratch works, if he's moving this way, you're changing X, and I'll explain that in a minute. And if you're moving this way, up or down, you're changing Y. Why? I'm going to tell you. So we want to find something that says, for the right arrow, we want to change X. Change X. So if I'm looking down here in these choices, I see something that says change X by 10. So I'm going to drag this one out here. When the right arrow key is pressed, change X by 10. Now remember, X is going this way, and Y is going to go this way when we do the up and down. So did this work? I am now going to press my right arrow key, and let's see what Ben does. I'm pressing the right arrow key, and Ben is moving 10 steps to the right. Now, what about the left arrow key? Let's do that one too. So we did when the right arrow key is pressed, so we go back to the event because it's another event. You're pressing another event. So, and there's the one that we have to move but we're not going to use space. This is a separate one for the left arrow key. And I'm going to choose left arrow here. When the left arrow key is pressed, now what happens? It's a movement, it's a motion. We go back to the motion and we choose change X again by 10. But here's a question. If right arrow is change X by 10 and left arrow is change X by 10, it's going to go in the same direction, right? So the left arrow, we have to add a minus sign. So it's minus 10. Minus 10 in the left arrow. Let's see if this works. I hope it does. So I'm pressing the right arrow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Now I'm going to press the left arrow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so if you just put 10, excuse me, if you just put 10, it's going to go X to the right. And if you say minus 10, it's going backwards. Like this, it's going backwards, minus, minus, minus. Okay, that's your X. Now, what if Ben wants to go up or down? Well, we have to do the same thing almost. So we need to find something that says when the up arrow key is pressed, when the up arrow key is pressed. So here's the one we use, but we're not going to use space. We're going to find up arrow. There we go. And we're not changing X anymore because X is this way and Y is this way. So now we're going to try Y because we're going up and down. And so that's motion. We go back to the motion. And here we go. Set Y. Change Y. Sorry, it's change Y that we're looking for. Change Y. There it is. Change Y. I'm going to drag that. Did that work? I'm going to press the up arrow now. See what Ben does. Ben's going up. All right. But we want Ben to come down. We have to do one more time for the down arrow. That's an event first. There's your event when. Drag that in. When the down arrow is pressed, what's going to happen? We're not doing X. We're doing the Y, so it's change Y. Change Y, that's motion because Ben is moving. Change Y. So here we go, change Y. You think it's going to work now? Or did I forget one thing? You noticed, didn't you? It's that won't work because the Y going down has to be minus because it's going backwards, it's going down. You notice that, all right. So I'm going to add the minus 10. Did that work? I'm going to press the down arrow right now and Ben is going down. Now I'm pressing right, left arrow, up and down. There, you're coding motion with the sprite. Not too difficult, eh? Shall we continue? Now, what if we want another character to, we got a good one. It's really interesting because with this scratch, a lot of these characters have more than one costume. And I'm going to show you what I mean by costume. Let's choose another character. So I go to my sprites. And what shall I choose to show you? How about a rooster? And the rooster, there's the rooster. I'm just going to drag him out a little bit. Now, this rooster looks like this, but this rooster actually has two more costumes. Here's what I mean. Right now, we've been using this tab But if I press the costumes tab, take a look at this. This is what you see right here. But if I click on Rooster, that's Rooster A. If I click on Rooster B, he moved a little bit. If I click on Rooster C, moved again. So you got 3 different costumes of this rooster that we can use. And I think a lot of these sprites have these different choices that you can use. So this one is highlighted. So that's why you see it right here. So I'm going to go back to code here in the top left corner. And we're going to code this rooster so that when you click on the rooster will change to one of those other costumes. So the event is when the sprite is clicked. All right, so that's an event. So there's our events. When the sprite is clicked, there it is right there. I'm going to drag it right out there. And what are we doing? We are switching costume. So that, what color do you think would work for switching costume? It's not motion. It's not sound. What about looks? Because the rooster might look a little bit different. Let's see. Do we see some? Oh, there it is. Oh, I think we have somebody joining us. Let me just see. Let me just see who's here. Malachi.
Good. Hello.
Hello, welcome. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Okay, yeah, we started at 2 o'clock, so you missed a little bit, but don't worry, I'll help you catch up. All right.
Okay.
All right. Have you done Scratch before?
Yes, I've done Scratch before.
Excellent. Okay, we are just trying to do a few Scratch things, and I'm going to share the screen so I can show you what I've done so far. Are you able to see my Scratch screen?
Yes, I am.
All right. So right now, I'm going to go back and show you quickly what I have done. With this first, just give me 1 second here. Yeah, with this first cat, I got it to say hello and imagine if. Have you ever made your characters talk?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. Maybe you're ahead of me. That's all right. So when I click on the cat, oh no, it's that's when the green flag is clicked. The cat speaks. And then I did a butterfly, which is this one right here. And what happened there was I wanted the butterfly to fly. When the space bar is clicked, so I chose when the space bar is clicked, make a sound, and then glide for 1 second to a random position so that when I press the space bar, it looks like this. You with me so far?
Yes, I am.
All right. And then I chose Ben. Oh, just so you know, this is being recorded. This whole session is being recorded for our YouTube channel. So if you don't want to be seen, it's not a problem if you want the video to stay off. It's okay. Oh yes, so with Ben, I wanted Ben to, we wanted to move Ben whenever we press the up, down, right, or left arrow keys. So when I press the right arrow key, Ben moves by 10. If if I press the up, if I press the down, and if I press the left arrow key, Ben is moving. That is where and then I was just doing the rooster now, and this is when you joined us. So thank you again for joining us here today. Now, what did, yes, okay, this, we wanted the rooster to change costume. Have you ever tried to change a costume on one of your sprites?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so we wanted this rooster to change costume when you click on it. And so we look in our looks, and we look for something that says switch costume. And there it is right there. So we drag it in here. And if we click on this this down arrow, we get to choose which of A, B, or C we want. And so I'm going to choose B. And then I'm going to, but we also want C as well. So I'm going to also drag C in here. But if we do that, watch what happens when I click on it. It happened so fast that you didn't see the change. So do you know what we need to fix that?
Do we have to add a code in the middle?
Yes, exactly. We just have to slow it down a little bit because that rooster is really fast. So we just have to control. We have to control it. So we have to go to our control buttons, which is this one right here. And we have to say, wait. So I'm going to drag it right in between there, and I'm going to change that to 0.3 seconds. And I think we need another one after 0.3. Now, I happen to know that this rooster that's looking at us right now, that is Rooster C. So if he's already looking at me, then I have to change this one to Rooster A. Let's see if I made the right choice. I may have to switch it, but that's the great thing, is that you just try things, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So let me just click on the rooster and see what happens. Oh, now I don't. Let's look at our costumes again and see the different costumes here. You got this one, you got this one, and you got this one. So I'm going to press Rooster A, go back to code. Oh, look at that. So maybe I should have left it at C. Let's go back to C. And now I'm going to click the rooster. Yeah, excuse me. There we go. So click it again. Maybe that's not long enough. Let's do it 0.5. 0.5. That's a little bit better. You can play around with it and do all kinds of experiments. Now, I'm going to tell you about growing and shrinking of Scratch characters, which is kind of cool. And I'm going to choose another sprite here to demonstrate. You may already know about growing and shrinking. Let's choose The drums. So now the drums are here, but it's in the way of the cat. So I'm just going to move it out of the way there. Okay. The drums have nothing there because we haven't coded it yet. And it's highlighted. So what do we want the drums to do? When the drums are clicked, that's the first thing. That's an event. So we click on events. When this sprite is clicked, a lot of times I forget that, and that's one of the most important blocks to have in there. So now we are changing size. So which color do you think we're going to need to change the size? We're not changing motion. We're not, it's not moving. We're not moving the drums. We want to change the size.
So do we go to looks and then change? Do we go
Looks. Looks, yes. Very good, because we're making the size bigger, so it's looking bigger. Very good. And which did you say we need? It was the
change size by 10.
Excellent choice, my friend. There we go. Change size by 10. You can do that. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to use this one, set size. And so right now the drums, that's how the drums look at 100%. But if I change that to 125%, are the drums going to be bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
You are correct. You are correct. So I just wanted it 25% bigger. So either one would work. Your solution would work as well. And then when it gets bigger, I would like the drums to make a sound. So we know where the sounds are. It's right here. And I'm going to drag one of these sounds over. Let's see. Let's play sound. When it gets bigger, it's going to play a sound. What sound should I choose? Let's see what our choices are. Oh, let's just try the first one. Hai na tabla. But I don't want the drums to stay big. After it plays the sound, I want the drums to go back to the regular size. So what do we need to get the drums back to the regular size?
We go back to looks.
We go back to looks.
And then we go to change size by 10.
Change size?
And by 10, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of change by size by 10, you put a minus in front of the 10.
You are correct. If I originally used change size by 10, yes, you would need a minus 10. But since I chose percent, then do I still need the minus?
No, you don't need the minus.
You are correct. Very good. Yes, you're right, because it was originally 100%. And then we made it bigger to 125, and now we're making it back to 100%. So in your case, yes, you are correct. You would need a minus 10. But since we used percent, we don't need the minus. But I had to use the percent key just because I started with the percent. And I would like this to happen not once, but twice. Is that an easy fix? I think it's an easy fix. We need, if we want something to repeat, it's not a sensing thing. It's not a looks thing. It's, Oh, it's a control thing. Yes, because you're controlling. You're saying, you're telling it what to do. You're controlling. You're saying, I want to repeat this. And I would like it to repeat 2 times. So I'm going to use our repeat block, which I'm sure you have used, I'm guessing.
Yes, I have.
It comes in handy. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Let's try that again. I pressed Control Z to try again when I made that mistake. Repeat, but I don't want it to repeat 10 times, so I'm going to change that to 2. All right, let's see if it worked. Does that programming make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right. Okay, I'm just checking one quick thing. And now I would like to choose another backdrop. So I'm going to choose another backdrop, and we all know how to choose backdrops. That's one of the easier things, but maybe not for some people, some of our new viewers. So there's where we get our sprites, and there's where we get our backdrop. So I'm going to click on that and choose a new backdrop. What about Night City? Let's try Night City. So now we've got a second backdrop in there. And what if we want to change the backdrop when we click on a sprite? I think I'd like to try that. So we need another sprite for that. So I'm going to choose another sprite. And anyone in particular you would like?
What do you mean?
Any particular sprite you wish me to choose?
Um, you can choose the dinosaur 5.
Dinosaur 5. Okay. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, what we need to do is when this sprite is clicked, we need the backdrop to change. Why? Just because that's what we want to do. We get to do whatever we want. So that, of course, is an event. When you click something, when you press something. So event, there's our events button. And when the sprite is clicked, let's drag it right out there first so I don't forget. And okay, now, just get my notes back. The first thing I would like to do is to tell the dinosaur, or ask the dinosaur to speak before the backdrop changes. So our speaking is under the looks, and I'm going to drag that here because I would like the dinosaur to say, I am going to change the background. All right, it's working so far. So switching backdrops, I wonder what color that would be. Well, if you don't know, you just keep searching. It's not motion. The backdrop is not, it's not, let's look and see. That might be a good show. Oh, of course, yeah, there we go. Switch backdrop. So I'm going to drag that there. And what are our choices here? So the two backdrops I've used are Water and Rocks and Night City. So I don't want, when you click on it, I don't want it to always be water and rocks. So I'm going to say next backdrop, the one that follows it. So it'll always choose the next one whenever you click on it. But I don't want the backdrop to change just the moment the moment the dinosaur says that. We have to kind of wait a second or two before we actually do the backdrop. So I'm just going to control and just put something in there just so that it doesn't happen so fast. And then after the backdrop changes, I would like the dinosaur to say, ooh, I accidentally pressed the butterfly. Okay, now the butterfly is hiding behind the rooster, but that's okay. Here we go. I'm going to click on the dinosaur, see what happens. Now that actually did work because white is the first background that we used before we changed to one of the other backgrounds. So I'm going to click the dinosaur again. And then one more time. It should find the next background. Yeah. So that, in a nutshell, is how to do the things that that I showed you today. Do you have any questions about what we did?
No, I have no questions.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry that you were a little bit late. Did say 2:00, right? On the invitation? Yeah, no, it's no problem. It's no problem. I'm glad that you took some time out to see what we were doing.
You're welcome.
Each month we do something different, and I hope that if you do some scratch coding, put it on our Ajax library page and let me know, and we'll be doing it again soon. And actually we're going to be doing Swift coding soon as well. Which, have you ever done Swift coding?
No, I've never heard of Swift coding.
We're going to be doing that, I think, in April. And that's the same thing. We're moving characters around, but we're using something called Swift coding. So look forward to that. And I hope you have a great rest of the day. And thanks again. We will see you again at our next event.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.